Hello, am I audible to all? If somebody can reply me, am I audible? If somebody can please say yes in chat, or if I am audible to all. Okay, so welcome all of you in this one-day international workshop on significance and applications of ICT in teaching learning process. So before we move ahead, actually we are waiting for our keynote speaker. Within a while he'll be joining us. Still, I like to have some interaction with our audience, the various participants who have joined us from all over the world. I like to have a short introduction with you. So if any of you wants to give his or her introduction to us, they may please uh, switch on their video so that we can make you host, and please give your introduction. Those who wants to interact with us, those who wants to give their introduction, they may please, either they may please raise their hand. Yes. All right. I can see, yes, Mr. Deepak Shinde, you want to introduce yourself? You need to switch on your mic, Mr. Shinde. Yes.
यस मेरा नाम दीपक शिंदे है और मैं माधव कॉलेज ग्वालियर में असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर हूं कंप्यूटर्स में.
Welcome you, sir. Welcome to the workshop.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else who wants to? Yes, Mr. Shivam. Yes, Mohammed Ibrahim, you wants to? Yes. Okay, let me make you the co-host first. All right. Anybody else wants to introduce him or herself? I can see various hands. Okay, let me make you the co-host first. Yes, Mr. Rajia. Yes, Mr. Randy, can you hear me? So you need to switch on your mic. I have
Hello.
made you the co-host. Yes, please.
Hello.
Namaste. Oh.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, please.
My voice is audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you. Namaste to all. Greetings from Indonesia. My name is Randy. Currently, I work at Center for the Development of Vocational Training in Serang, Banten Province, the Republic of Indonesia. Thank you.
Welcome to the workshop, Mr. Randy. I hope you're doing well.
Thank
Hello.
you.
Yes, who's there?
I'm Sir Mohammad Ikram from Murawad, Uttar Pradesh.
Mr. Mohammed ji, can you please switch on your video? Yes. I can see Ms. Pratishtha. If you want to say something, you are the co-host.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Mohammed, please.
I'm Mohammad Ikram from Murawad, Uttar Pradesh. I am a physical teacher, VHS Devpur.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Mohammed. Welcome to the workshop.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else? Wait a minute, Mohammed. Yes, now you need to switch on your mic before saying anything.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Mohammed.
Sir, I am Muhammad Dastagir from Hyderabad and I am a research scholar. I am doing my PhD. Nice to meet you, sir.
Great. Nice to meet you too. Welcome to the workshop, Mr. Mohammed.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Miss Pratishtha, you wanna introduce yourself?
हेलो
Yes, please.
सर, मेरा नाम प्रतिष्ठा है
Yes.
और सर मैं अभी स्टूडेंट हूँ, मेरी एमए कंप्लीट हुई है। यस
Nice to meet you, Miss Pratishtha. I can see one participant named Miss Namita. You're raising your hand. You wants to say something, ma'am? You need to switch on your mic. Ma'am, you need to switch on your mic first.
ओके
Yes, ma'am.
मैं डॉक्टर नमिता धारीवाल गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज बुलाना एमपी में पोस्टेड हूँ और मैं आपका वर्कशॉप अटेंड करने के लिए बहुत वेट ही कर रही थी टाइम होने का।
It's a honor, sir. Honor, ma'am. Thank you so much. Welcome to the workshop.
थैंक यू
So,
सो
with this, I guess our keynote speaker has joined us. So I'd like to request all of you, we're gonna talk on something else. You all please switch off your videos. I'm going to begin the workshop formally. If let me check if our honorable chairman, okay. So our speaker, Dr. Atul, can you hear me? Are you there?
Yes, wish you very morning, sir. I'm
Very
here
morning, sir.
in the session.
Thank you, sir. So here I like to welcome everybody who has joined us from all over the world, including Dr. Mishra, our honorable chairman of the institution, the respected secretary of the institution, various principals, academicians, and professionals who has gathered here in this online conference over the significance and applications of ICT in teaching learning process. Here, I like to mention one thing that in India, we are having only 4 national institute for teachers training, for the teachers, technical teachers training. And it is our fortune that NITTR Bhopal has supported us in the form of, supporting us while giving permission us to get some words from Dr. Mishra. So this is really unfortunate for us that, sir, your presence, your only presence has made this a day, a red letter day to all of us. And of course, your humbleness is the great gesture of personality that as after being at the top of the, hill of your career, you are so down to earth. So which is really a great piece of personality we are having in the form of you in NITTR Bhopal. On the other side, I always when I talk about someone, I always says if somebody is having a great capability to propagate your internal capabilities, you can do anything. And here I'm actually pointing towards the dynamic secretary of my institutions, Mr. Vikrant Singh Rathore, sir. He is young and dynamic, leader who always leads us. I like to request the respected secretary of Vikrant Group of Institutions, Mr. Vikrant Singh Rathore, sir, to say few words on this important day. Respected, sir.
Yes, hi, good morning, everyone. I hope all of you are doing great and are in great health. So, first of all, I would like to welcome Professor Atul Mishra, sir. And I would like to express my gratitude to you, sir, to accept the invitation to join us. We all really admire you. All the teaching fraternity really admires you, and I've heard a lot about you from everyone. They keep appreciating you, and they really want to hear you. So, with your vast experience and vast knowledge, I think we're all eagerly waiting to hear you. So, thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. I forget to mention the introduction of Dr. Atul. So I like to just introduce Dr. Atul first. Dr. Atul Mishra, sir, is working as associate professor of Vocational Education and Entrepreneurship at National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. Dr. Mishra is having a vast experience of 25 years in providing trainings to the teachers in the field of entrepreneurship development, human resource development, industry institute partnership, and environmental conversations. He has represented in many international conferences like in Japan, France, China, Singapore, and Hong Kong. He is expert in many AICTE committees. He is expert in NBA accreditation process, and he is expert in MP Private University Regulatory Commission Bhopal. Apart from this, Dr. Mishra has done his postgraduate and doctorate in environmental discipline. Dr. Mishra is also leading some national projects like National River Action Project and Lake Conservation Project. So this is, it is our honor to have Dr. Mishra with us as the keynote
Definitely, it is
speaker
definitely a
for
privilege to
this
have
workshop.
Mishra sir with us. And I hope I really appreciate KD to take this initiative and call Mishra sir. And I hope this workshop will be really beneficial to all the participants.
Thank you, sir. Now I'd like to request our source of inspiration and father of the institution, whose blessings means a lot to us, the Honorable Chairman of the organization, Mr. R.S. Rathore, sir, to please address this workshop and to please welcome our eminent keynote speaker, Dr. Mishra. Honorable Chairman, sir.
थैंक यू कुलदीप। आज के इस वेबिनार पे बहुत स्पेसिफिक सब्जेक्ट पे बोलने जा रहे हैं। हमारे प्रदेश के गौरव के रूप में जाने जाने वाले प्रोफेसर अतुल मिश्रा, जो NTTR में भोपाल में पदस्थ हैं। डॉक्टर साहब, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है, अभिनंदन है विक्रांत समूह के द्वारा। और आज का जो विषय आपने लिया है ICT इन टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस, इसकी आज के कोविड-19 के परिप्रेक्ष्य में अगर हम देखें तो बहुत आवश्यकता है, इवन अपरिहार्य है। आज का ये विषय आगे आने वाली एजुकेशन सिस्टम में बहुत मील का पत्थर साबित होने वाली है। प्रोफेसर मिश्रा, मैं 2 वर्कशॉप NTTR में AICT की तरफ से ज्वाइन कर चुका हूँ। मेरा सौभाग्य नहीं हुआ कि आपसे रूबरू होता, लेकिन आज ये 400-450 लोगों के समक्ष आपसे संवाद करने का मुझे सौभाग्य प्राप्त हुआ और आपका इस विषय पर व्याख्यान सुनने का सौभाग्य प्राप्त हुआ। इसके लिए मैं आपका हृदय से आभारी हूँ। आपका बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूँ सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स की ओर से और विक्रांत समूह की ओर से। थैंक यू। विक्रांत, प्रणाम।
Thank you so much, Honorable Chairman, sir. And as I said, Dr. Mishra, your presence only will make this ordinary day a red letter day to us. And I'm sure that each of us is going to gain bucks of knowledge and information in the field of ICT with the presentation that you are going to give to us today. So I like to request Dr. Mishra to please say a few words and please present your presentation, Dr. Mishra.
Thank you, Professor Pathak. So first of all, wishing very good morning to all the dignitaries and all the participants who are present in this session. Before I start, let me thank Honorable Chairman and Secretary of Vikrant Group of Institutes, all the faculty members for giving this opportunity to share my views with you and all the other participants who are joining us. ITR Bhopal, as already said, is a training division of Ministry of HRD, now Ministry of Education. And out of 4 ITR, it is one which is located, headquartered at Bhopal, looking after 6 states of Western India. And it is meant for training and development of technical teachers of Western India. In the COVID time, it's an opportunity for us that we are able to cater across India. So I thank you everyone for this opportunity, and I'll try a small bit to share my views on some of the platforms of ICT which may help us in our teaching learning process. So with due permission of the chair, I would like to start a small presentation for his chairman, sir. Okay. So should I start?
Yes, yes, please, doctor.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sure.
Yes, please. Ji.
So this small presentation for all dear friends. I'll just start my PPT, and along with we'll go for discussion also. If you find any question or you want to add value, at the end of the session, we'll discuss for 10 to 15 minutes. We'll try to sort out your queries and we'll try to learn from your experiences also. I'm just taking a few seconds to open up my presentation and share it with you. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes,
to
sir, it is visible. Yes, yes.
All right. So I use a word called e-learning, right? Which is a current, very relevant word for all of us, right? So we'll be sharing some of the online teaching learning resources, some of the interactive tools. We will be talking on Moocs, LMS Moodle. We'll be talking on simulators and AR/VR tools. Also, we'll look at some of the smart classroom equipments. Dear friends, I am sharing a new word, and that is Education 4.0. Hopefully, all of us would be aware of the word Industry 4.0. For last few years, industry have been talking about a word, Industry 4.0. And it might have reached to you also. Industry 4.0, which is integration of all these technologies which we are hearing, maybe artificial intelligence, maybe IoT, maybe supply chain, and similar, maybe big data, maybe mobility. All these latest technologies clubbed together with artificial intelligence, they are under the umbrella of the word called Industry 4.0. The coming industry, the coming nature of jobs, nature of processes would be much different, would be much modernized. And to cope up this Industry 4.0, in education, we are talking of a word called Education 4.0, because now our students, they have to get ready as per the requirement of Industry 4.0. So our education system has to be Education 4.0 or University 4.0. Okay, so we'll have a look what are key things into it. Okay. Sorry. So in front of us is Mr. N. Chandrasekharan. Earlier, he was CEO and MD of Tata Consultancy Services, but we know currently he is holding the post of chairman of Tata Group, which is one of the biggest conglomerate across the world, not only in India, but across the globe. And as per Mr. N. Chandrasekharan, and what he said, We have to learn. People will have to learn. If they want to be productive, we have to learn to collaborate and work with intelligent machines to be productive in society. So if anyone is willing to be productive in the society, he or she has to learn in the near future. We have to collaborate and work with intelligent machines. He himself is talking of all those technologies which are under the umbrella of Industry 4.0 or Education 4.0. Okay. Another important aspect of e-learning is education for masses. As we know, the education, especially in India, if you are talking of, it is not at all reachable to all. If you look at gross enrollment ratio from school education to higher education, it is hardly 25%. Earlier, before 2 years, it was HRD data was 23. Now we say it is 25. Means out of 100 students passing out from school education, only 25 are joining higher education. So with the help of now e-learning, e-education, the education is reaching to masses. And this is also one of the key factor of e-learning. How will emerging ICT technologies impact education? So some of the technologies who have impacted is, earlier, if you have seen, it was World Wide Web. We call it internet. With the help of internet, now the whole world has become very small. Second thing, with the enhancement of technologies in mobile, and we call it mobility. So the whole world has come into our hand. Every vertical of life, whether it is education, whether it is healthcare, whether it is banking, you talk of any retail, you talk of any service, you are able to do it, with the help of your cell phone. Cloud computing, with the enhancement of technologies in cloud computing, now the whole world has gone much easier. Every technology is now integrated. Another one is open content. Now they are open platforms. Content, the whole content is open with the help of internet, and now education is open with the open sources. Gamification. We must know that with the help of, whether it is learning, offline learning or online learning, for learning, we have learned that gamification is one of the most important tool for making the learning effective. So dear friends, whether it is offline learning or whether it is online learning, we must know, earlier the gamification market, which was hardly 20 Arab dollars, now it is 160. So we must know that if we are moving towards e-learning, gamification is one of the important teaching and learning tool. In the coming time, earlier also in the coming times, this wearable technology, right? If we look at enhancement in these wearable technologies in the coming future also, latest technologies in the form of eye lenses. We'll look at some videos in the form of lenses, in the form of chips, microchips. they would be coming to near future. Artificial intelligence, as we see, is one of going to be change maker, a paradigm shift to the whole world and also to the education system. Our future classrooms would look like, you look at the time of Corona itself, when every student is learning online, whether it's school education or higher education. So this is the situation that now we are full of apps. And teacher would be saying the syllabus this year has the following apps. And this is the situation right now. Now the coming situation is, as you know, now robots would be teaching. You might have learned that in Bengaluru, one of the school has introduced a robot for teaching communications. In the coming future, these virtual systems would be part of our classrooms, whether physical classroom or online classrooms. And more than this, similarly, you having for our learning experience, these AR, VR tools, artificial intelligence, your augmented reality, AR, virtual reality, VR, these tools are changing the market, also to education market also. These are the simulators which are giving us experiential learnings. Now this is the time when the students can information on anything, anytime, anywhere. So what does it mean to teach in the 21st century now? If you look at the number of internet users, no, since 1990s, it was hardly bare minimum. And now look at the enhancement across the world. Especially, I mean, you look at East Asia and Pacific, I mean, it has grown a lot. Even if you look at the number of websites from 1991 to 2019, if you look at the figure, it was bare minimum. Yeah, now if you're talking of, it is on the peak. Similarly, internet users in India, the time is spent by, if you look at the time, mobile influence of mobile, and influence of mobile into every vertical, it is politics, into family cohesion, local culture, economy, and a good influence on education is approx 67%. And it is a very positive signal. Also, it may be negative for children who are giving more time, affecting their health, but effective use in education is the key to success. Now focusing more on our topic, that is e-learning. So while we are talking of e-learning, it is inclusive of multimedia learning, technology enhanced learning, computer-based instructions, internet-based training, web-based training, online education, virtual learning environment, and M-learning, mobile learning, and digital education collaborations. So all these terms, we integrate them under the umbrella of e-education or e-learning. And it has various applications. In education also, if you look at, it is used for blogs and wikis, maybe for virtual classrooms, virtual laboratories, developing e-content and lectures. There are digital libraries now. There are discussion boards now. And it is also used for assessment purpose also. Now this is, we have integrated some of the e-learning platforms and resources for you. Let's have a quick look at them so that you are able to use this platform for your own teaching learning purpose. First of all, we need to look at our most important platform, and that is DELNet. It is National Digital Library of India. Now, all the libraries across India are integrated and this is National Digital Library of India. More than 100 types of learning resources. There are more than 2,50,000, sorry, it is approx 25,000 books. It is 2,50 lakhs books available, 40,000 list of journals, 5,000 full text e-journals, and their thesis, their dissertations. So for all teachers and students, it is a resource which can be utilized at every aspect. Now, it is NLIST, National Library and Information. Just a second. National Library and Information Infrastructure for Scholarly Content. It is also termed as eShodh Sindhu. For all teachers, for all scholars, and for students also, this is now NLIST, National Library. Now every libraries are now it had been linked to National Library, National Digital Library. So scholarly content, those who are into research related activities, the scholarly content is meant here. INDEST, AICT Consortium, Indian National Digital Library in Engineering Science and Technology Consortium, an initiative of Department of Secondary Education and Higher Education, enables access to electronic information resource at highly discounted rates, and now it is free of cost. Facilities convenience of desktop access to high quality e-resources to students and researchers. And this is also one of the, so now each and every library which we are looking at separate, now it has been linked to National Digital Library. Similarly, DELNet, InfliBidNet, OJS, Open General Access Systems, right? All these have been integrated. Another important aspect is iSTEM, Indian Science, Technology and Engineering Facilities Map, iSTEM, where more than 400 organizations connected and 18,000 equipments are uploaded. All the top institutions across India, whether it is IT or all the top institutions across India, now they have been integrated. So there are more than 400 organizations and approximately 18,000 equipments. So now every institution, technical institute in India, is having access to state-of-the-art facilities. Now, it develops the culture of collaboration. Now, teachers may connect to these top institutions across India, and you can collaborate for research, for teaching, learning, for any other educational activity. And that's how there's optimal use of all these resources. So for all of us who are willing to grow further, all the teachers, you may connect, you may use resources and equipments of all these top institutions, and you can connect to these institutions for your own collaborations. Another platform called ePG Pathshala, right? It is a gateway to all PG postgraduate courses, right? An initiative of Ministry of HRD under National Mission of Education through ICT. So it is NME ICT, right? So lot of courses, MOOC courses, lot of e-content are available with this platform called ePG Pathshala. So nowadays it's just a listing of these courses. Even if you look at even Springer, the journal has made its journals, e-journals, free of cost now. So there are n number of book sites. Along with this, there are n number of book sites which is available. They are free ebooks which are available for our teaching learning process for various areas. Another program, Nptel, which is an old program, National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning. It was also an initiative of Ministry of HRD, Government of India. So the platform was named as Sakshar to leverage power of ICT in higher education. So again, it is having lot many educational channels, YouTube channels, right? And n number of videos across science and humanities, engineering. There are n number of online certification courses, right? Approx 875 courses available online, right? So this is also one of the important platform which can be used by teachers to get their content which they want to have in their own areas, subject areas. We have still talked about NPTEL. So it was a MHRD funded initiative of initiative of IITs and ISCs, and mission was to enhance the quality of engineering education in the country by free online courses in engineering, science, and humanities. Consortium for Educational Communication. So again, it was a platform for education. This was initiative of UGC, and under this, many universities across the India where media centers were set up. They were named as EMRC, Educational Media Research Centers, which were meant to develop e-content. They were running channels, educational channels. They were developing e-content as per the need of the educational systems, e-knowledge resources. For all teachers, we must understand that there are other open forum symposiums, online resources in teaching learning. And one of them is FOSSEE, which is an open forum symposium, free and open source software for education. So lot many open source softwares for education are available under this platform. While we are talking of e-education, now our labs have gone virtual. Our industry visit, our field visits have gone virtual. So how to make it? Because now you can connect to your students through various platforms, whether it is Google platform, whether it is Microsoft platform, whether it is Cisco platform. There are n number of platforms available for there's classroom sharing of content, as well as connecting to them through different platforms, where like we are having our Zoom platform. So there are virtual labs and virtual field trips. So another one of the very important platform, already we have seen iSTEM, where more than 400 top organizations in the country are connected together, and their equipments, their resources can be utilized. Similarly, the platform called Virtual Lab, it is an initiative of Ministry of Human Resource Development Now again, I'm talking Ministry of Education, right? So these virtual labs have broad areas in the field of electronics and communication, computer science, electrical, mechanical, chemical, biotechnology, civil engineering, physical science, chemical sciences, and many more have been included recently. And the objective of this platform is to provide remote access to labs in various disciplines of science and engineering, right? These virtual labs would cater to students at the undergraduate level, postgraduate level, as well as to research scholars. So all the teachers you may utilize with this platform, you may have remote access to to labs of various top institutions. So when you are talking of labs, laboratory practicals, you can use these platforms. iSTEM platform, virtual lab platform. For example, I'm taking another example. There are n number of platforms which are available. So one of the platform is eYantra. eYantra platform is an initiative of IIT Mumbai, Department of Mechanical, IIT Mumbai. Now, it aims to create the next generation of embedded system engineers with a practical outlook to help provide practical solutions to some of the real world problems. So now teachers may have access to, this is one of the virtual labs in mechanical for mechanical teachers. So they are having their videos, they are having workshops, and they are having access to teachers, for their virtual use of their virtual labs. So eYantra is again one example of IIT Mumbai. There are again some of the virtual labs which have been mentioned here: vlab.co.in, virtuallabs.ac.in, deploy virtuallabs.ac.in, right? Then again, an initiative of Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham Virtual Lab. Amrita Vishwavidyalaya, Amrita University basically. So amrita.vlab.co.in. There are n number of other platforms also. I have tried to list out some of them. So you can use these platforms for conduction of practical works, for demonstration, and for practical of all those practical activities which are included in your curriculum for your students. Now, once we are talking of virtual laboratories, of course, one of the important aspects is virtual field trips. So for demonstration purpose, for their own experiential learning during the time of Corona, and maybe even at other time also, when you don't find much resources to take students practically to the field, these virtual field trips are going to help you in conduction of your field demonstration and field trips. So I have tried to in front of you, there are some of the platforms which are listed. How stuff works, fieldtrips.org, Michelle apps. How stuff works, how especially how petrol engine works. Ask an expert. It is also one of the platform wherein you can connect to some of the experts from industry or mentors who are ready to answer your questions. So there are a number of others also, but some of the platforms which have been listed here, which may be used for your field visit also. Again, into some other areas, maybe mathematics, maybe physics, maybe computers. So there are a number of platforms which are there for your purpose. Now, talking on e-learning programs, after the COVID crisis, even the MHRD, now I have to rename this as School Ministry of Education, MOE, has permitted 100 universities across India to run online programs. Even if you look at Delhi University, it has started online programs which are equal to offline program, regular programs, some degrees, and this is the news before COVID itself. If you look at the industry also, there are so many industries, our engineering students or technical students. For example, this is one example which has been taken. It is Infosys, right? There are and other companies also which are running so many programs for engineering students. So we can take initiative and we can get advantage of all these programs for our students. So another initiatives, Adeniguru, India's digital education university, which have been created. It is Narsi Munji initiative, having online programs. So these are some of the initiatives again which have been taken. So finally, if we're talking of online programs, it is mandatory to talk about Moocs. Hope the word is not new to you. Mooc, as the word says, massive open online courses. And the basic purpose of Moocs was to create platforms so that education reaches to masses and to make obsolete all the hurdles. If you look at the education, there are so many hurdles. One of the important hurdle is finance, money. Now education, especially professional education, is so costly. Everyone cannot afford it. And there was one survey which was done across India in terms of higher education in India. So on an average, if you look at Delhi, if any student is doing technical education, technical professional course in technical education, he has to pay near to 70,000, and non-technical it was near to 30,000. And similar data was there across the country also. Now, if you talk of age bar, qualification bar, distance bar, geographical bar, maybe time bar. So every hurdle has been removed with the help of Moocs. These are the programs, open programs for all. There's no age bar, there's no education bar, there's no time bar, right? Kab shuru hoga, kab khatam hoga, din mein padhe, raat mein padhe, right? Anytime you can do it. So the purpose is education for masses, right? Education should reach to masses. For India, if you know that we have our own platform in the Mooc platform in the name of Swayam. So there are thousands of courses for people who want to learn. There are thousands of free courses online, open for all. There are certificate courses, diploma, undergraduate, postgraduate. Those who want to learn, there's no limit. Swayam platform by Ministry of Education now in India. So another thing which we must know, that there's a national initiative for technical teachers training, NTTT, right? So now AICT and all the 4 knitters together, so they have prepared their 8 modules which have been listed here. Now, every teacher in India, all these courses, AICT module, 8 modules are compulsory for every teacher, technical teacher in India, right? And again, now these MOOC platforms, AICT, NTTT, all these modules, they have been put to Swayam platform also. So you can do these courses with the help of Moocs, Swayam Moocs. Another platform open, while we are talking of open platform, we must know that we have another system, NIOS, right? For school education and higher education. These were all open education, right? Especially for even for a school, it was for higher education also. Now this NIOS online program education, they have been put together along with Swayam Moocs. So while talking, even these open programs, there was open, there was no age bar, there's no qualification bar. So all these programs were open. So now these have been clubbed with Swayam Moocs, and since they have become online, right? So that everyone who is willing to, they may take advantage of these programs. While we are talking of, we'll talk of Moodle, but we're talking of Moocs. So Moocs is not new. It is more than 100 years old. So many universities across the world, whether it is Harvard, whether it is MIT, whether it's Berkeley, right? So all these universities, Columbia, have been running MOOC programs, right? So there are more than 4 million learners. So this is one of the important platform, EDX, by University of Edinburgh. So it is one of the important MOOC platform. Coursera, OCT by MIT. Similarly, there are n number of other programs, MOOC program by different universities. Again, listing some of more. So again, we were talking of online, so we are talking of blogs. It is similar to writing articles in magazines. We write blogs for education, teaching, learning purpose. We write articles in the form of blogs. So it is a bit different from blogs of Mr. Amitabh Bachchan or other authorities in media or in politics. So we are talking of blogs in teaching, learning purpose. So these are e-blogs called e-articles, e-blogs. So you can write blogs, use there are n number of blogging platforms. So we can use this platform for writing blogs, writing e-articles for education purpose, right? So while we are talking of these e-platforms, so there are n number of platforms. Right now we are looking at one is Khan Academy, right? So you might have learned about Khan Academy. Khan Academy is one of the reputed e-platform for education in India, and it has been awarded also many times by our ministry for their wonderful efforts in this development of education. Already we have seen other platforms, even for right now it is limited to school education in the name of Bajus. Right now there was a news In a newspaper also, there was big advertisement by another platform called Unacademy. So these are, coming up as very, very important e-learning platform for school education, and now they are ready to cover higher education also. So we have seen Bajus, there are Udemy, there are Vedantu, right? Square Panda. So there, so like MakeBot, there are a number of platforms which are available for e-learning. We'll try to have a look. So now Imbibe. So I'm just naming these platforms. They are used for various purposes. If you want to prepare our students for, school education children, for maybe higher education children, even want to train our students on employability skills, there are mock tests. So there are a number of learning resources, a number of assessment tools which are here, which are helpful for us and our students for teaching learning purpose. We have seen this platform called Unacademy. It was in news recently, wherein now Narayan Krishnamurthy, Sam Pitroda, and others, they have joined a kind of webinar for this Unacademy platform. Now, Step Up, Toppers, Brainly. Now, if you look at this platform called Quizzes, right? Sorry. Now, using this platform called Quizzes, we are able to prepare a small quiz for our students when it is e-learning. While we are talking of learning, whether it is e-learning or maybe it is online or offline, it has to be effective. And once we are calling it to be more effective, I talked about gamification. I talked about other tools like using this platform, sharing knowledge in the form of quiz. Okay. So another platform for conducting quiz is called Kahoot. So similar platforms, right? There are a number of innovative solutions. But if you look at for school education, so Rent a Tab means they are sharing all their e-learning with the help of a tab, and people are can pay hardly 750 rupees per month for this tab, and every resource is available to them online. StudyAdda.com. So Rivet. Now for a platform called Rivet for reading practice for students, for better reading practice, a platform called Rivet can help them a lot. Other platforms called Bindner, maybe Paper Video. There are, there is instant access to an extra teacher anytime, any place. Again, for skilling and upskilling, especially we look at, these are the platforms which can help our students, right? Students who are into programming, so they can use this platform for skilling them more in programming or upskilling. So Windows.com helps them in skilling or upskilling their programming skills. A platform by Harvard, named Ascend. So Harvard Business Review, a digital learning resource, and which is very important for students graduating in India. So especially for developing their employability skills, whether it is group discussion, whether there are interview skills, this platform is very, very helpful for professional development of employability skills. Again, a platform by TCS, Tata Consultancy Service. There, one of the division is TCS Ion. TCS Ion is one of the division of Tata Group, which is into e-assessment across the India. In Madhya Pradesh also, you might have observed that so many private or government examinations are now online, whether it is any exam, if you talk of any exam, whether it is a government examination or it is a private examination, now TCS ION is conducting those examinations online. So they are also having one platform with the name of Career Skills. They are having certification for the students. When we are talking of webinars, we have started it recently, but some of the important platforms like International Federation for Engineering Education Societies, Indo-Universal Collaboration for Engineering Education. So these are platforms which are conducting international webinars regularly, and these are completely free of cost. So we can utilize their potential, these potential platforms for our teaching and learning purpose. Now we have been using chatbot. Chatbots are very, very important tool. Now, how to use these chatbots for our teaching learning purpose? So whether we are using WhatsApp, so these are n number of chatbots, right? It is live chat, WhatsApp, Amazon Alexa, Telegrams, the n number of which are listed, no? So these chatbots can be used not only for our social interactions, but we can look at how to use them for our teaching learning purpose also. So if you look at, even, I don't know if you are using these platforms, for example, if you are using for WhatsApp, so WhatsApp can be used for the sharing PPTs. For teaching learning purpose, it can be for sharing information, sharing presentations, sharing content with each other for other collaborative purpose. So the use of these chatbots is very important for our e-learning purpose. Now in today's world, while we are talking of e-learning, another major impact of e-learning is on our health. And now you might have heard that even Government of India has issued advisory to all the states to limit the number of hours on screen for our students. They have limited the number of hours on screen. Now, once it is limitation because of our health, now use of audiobooks has increased. So if it is impacting our eyes, especially our eyes, our health, now we can start using audiobooks, right? So we can develop our lecture notes. We can develop our lecture notes in the form of audiobooks, and we can share with those audiobooks with the students. So now it is helpful that while doing their other works also, they can go for listening those audiobooks. Now, similarly, we are having podcasts. Audiobooks is also termed as podcast. So it is Apple Podcast, it is Google Podcast, and there are a number of other tools which are available, whether it is Pocket FM, whether it is Hubhopper. So there are another other tools which are available, which can be used for listening these video lectures on demand. Again, list of these podcasts which are available, which can be used for listening our audiobooks. Again, we have seen virtual assistants. Okay. Example, let's see, Amazon Alexa, Google Lens, Cortana, right? Siri, Microsoft Edge. There are n number of Google Assistant, right? Which can be used for assisting us in our teaching learning process for teachers and our students. Another part is social media. Am I audible to all the participants?
Yes, sir, you are very much audible.
All right, all right, all right. Just a second. I'm just coming up to the screen here. Okay. And my presentation is also visible to all?
Yes, sir, it is visible, but yeah, okay, now it's fine. Okay, sir.
Okay. So another part is again use of social media for our teaching learning purpose, right? For example, whether it is WhatsApp, whether it is Instagram, Snapchat, Share It, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, right? So if you are using these platforms only for social interactions, for entertainment or social interaction, we can use these platforms for our teaching learning purpose. I take an example. If I talking of Facebook, Facebook is not only meant for our social interactions, it can be also used for academic collaborations across the world now, since because of this, now world has become very small. So you can use them for your academic collaborations across the globe, for research collaborations, academic collaborations. Now you can connect to all the top institutions across India, right? If you connect to their page, for example, if you connect to page of IIT Delhi, every important activity happening in IIT Delhi is reaching to you, right? Now we are talking of some more collaborative tools. For example, AView, right? Just a second. I'll just take 1 second. I'm just coming back. Just sorry for interruption. I'm just joining back. Is my screen visible to all now?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. So while we are talking of collaborative tools, so we must know there's one important platform called AView. See, while we are using these n number of platforms, whether it is Zoom, whether it is Google platform, they have their own limitations, right? So now one of the important platform is called AView, one of the virtual interactive e-learning platform which has been created by Ministry of HRD, IIT Mumbai and Amrita University. And this e-platforms AView is free of cost, and it can be used by every technical institute in India. Every institute of higher education in India, it is free of cost, and it is having lot many facilities which can be used. There are n number of screens which can run at the same time where people can talk, present. So I mean there are n number of facilities, and this can be used for training and learning process for n number of well, there's no limitations how many people can join. There are thousands of people can join it at one time. So this is also one of the tool which can be used. There are n number of other tools which are available. Already we are using Zoom, there are Blue Jeans, WebEx meeting, Skype, Adobe Connect, Speak Computer. There are n number of AirMeet is one of more indigenous platform which has been created. So Namaste India. So there are n number of Namaste Bharat, right? Voice and video conference which have been created recently. Now this can be also used for this collaborative purpose. Similarly, using Skype, Facebook, SkyDrive, maybe Twitter, Microsoft Lynch, there are n number of platforms. You can use these various platforms for collaborations and for with the students, for research, for the industry people. Look at this platform called bubble.us, especially for a team which is online and you want to go for a brainstorming session. So one of the important platform called bubble.us can be used for this brainstorming or group discussion purpose. So on looking view on search engines, already we know about, but there are n number of search engines, whether it is Google, Yahoo, Ask, Bing. So there are n number of search engines which can be used for our teaching learning purpose. Now for publication and evaluation tools, we have to publish articles, we have to publish our learning resource which we have developed. So we know one of the global player, right? Top player is Wikipedia. So you can publish if you want something. This is one of the key platform where things can be, so where knowledge can be published. Wikipedia, maybe Ning, maybe Scratch, maybe there are n number of platforms which can be used. Kodu, so where you can make your public Scratch. Similarly, e-portfolio. Now, since it is e-learning, how to make practical files, how to make different kind of files which we used to make, whether it is practical files, laboratory files, workshop files, or maybe other assignment files. So for this, now you have e-portfolio. These files can be made, so there are n number of tools for e-portfolio, maybe Portfolio Launch, 24, B, LinkedIn In, maybe e-portfolio, e-portfolio. So there are n number of platforms which can be used for making these e-portfolio, e-files, commonly we call it. So these are some of the platforms which can be used for developing e-portfolio by the students for various purposes. Portfolio of assignments, portfolio of tasks, portfolio of your seminars, workshops conducted or attended, maybe there are n number of purposes for which you want to email portfolio. Now coming to simulators for our teaching learning purpose. Now out of so many teaching learning tools which have been used, simulators are one of the most important tool for giving you the same experience. While we are talking of experiential learning, you can teach anyone. If you want to train anyone, if you want to make anyone learn how to drive a car, it cannot be done with the help of your lecture mode. There has to be practical sessions, right? Practice sessions. Now in the time of e-learnings, how to conduct them. So simulators so if you look at simulators in a medical field, now there are simulators which are being used. Instead of a body, human body, a real human body, there is a simulator which works or reacts in the same way. If you look at, for example, some of the real simulators which are being used for training purpose, this is one picture where police personnel in the state of Chhattisgarh, They are being trained with the help of simulators. If you are able to see, these are not real guns. These are not real guns, these are simulators. But when you use them, it gives you a real kind of feeling or experience, a real kind of experience, right? So, dear friends, there are two terms, anubhuti or anubhav, feeling and experience. If you don't feel anything, it will not convert to experience. Only your own feelings are converted into your experiences, anubhuti or anubhav. And whatever your learning is, so there's a word which is coined, learning is experiential, rest is data. Our experiences are our learnings, and rest is data. So these simulators, they are helpful to give us a real kind of learning. So similarly, if you look at, it is at a picture, third picture at the bottom, it is a real picture from one mall in Maharashtra in Aurangabad, right? In Aurangabad, this mall is having this simulator for driving simulator, right? So these on upper side, these are simulators. This is one real simulator in the mall, this mall. Now, how to drive a car? First, you are trained in a simulator to avoid, to reduce loss of, loss of money, loss of fuel, pollution, accidents. So first you are trained on simulators. Then once you gain experience, then you are taken to. So similarly, if you look at for electrical people, they are welding simulator. So there's no actual welding happening, but you feel like actual thing is happening. Your feelings and your experiences are same. So these are simulators are being used nowadays. Similarly, for practicing in sports, but it is cricket simulator, cricket, basketball, football, now these simulators are being used to practice. Look at the machine room or control rooms, right? Now, before any trainee is taken to a real control room, he or she gets practice into with the help of a simulator. Otherwise, if you push a wrong button, it may create havoc. So there are simulators, there are machine room simulators or control room simulators where practice sessions are conducted. Similarly, even for nowadays car mechanics, for all these big machines, right? Now look at for space research, people who go to space, they practice to practice the same kind of life, having the same experiences. They are kept in a simulator for months, for a few, maybe 3 months or 6 months. They are kept inside a simulator, which is having a similar kind of environment. So all these simulators, you look at, but there are n number of simulators which are being used for teaching learning purpose also. Now focusing on AR, VR tools, augmented reality and virtual reality tools, right? Now in different countries, if we talk of Japan and some other countries, robots are teaching in the class. I told you example of a school in Bangalore which is using a robot for teaching communication in classrooms, right? So there are a number of artificial intelligence, AI, AR, VR tools, number of startups which are using AI, right, for teaching learning purpose. Look at this picture. One of the student startup at IIT Delhi. So with the help of their company into VR, they are developing educational tools. So approx 450 VR apps in education and training they have developed, and they are working in more than 10 to 15 countries right now. Look at this fellow from IT Mumbai. So there are two people who are doing some activities, one in white shirt, another one in brown coat with hat. So these are two principals. In white shirt, his principal, Mr. Fernandez, principal Government Polytechnic Goa, and another in brown hat is principal with a Chhattisgarh Women Polytechnic Raipur. So these two people are, with the help of their glasses, they are VR glasses, they are feeling that there is some object and they are interacting with it, but actually there is no object. It is their feeling, right? So these are now VR tools, VR glasses and VR tools which are being made to give, these are kind of simulators which are being made to give you the similar kind of experience. For example, when I visited one exhibition in Bangalore a few years back, so the company you can see the name of the company, Advanced AR. So learning electronics using augmented reality, right? So the company was into education and training for learning electronics using AR and VR. So there are a number of companies in India also who are, with the help of their AR VR tools, they are into training and learning purpose. And if you are able to see, there are a number of pictures which are available. Now our laboratories and classrooms would be in future would be like this. In the middle of it, people who are from civil and architecture, they will be able to, with the help of their virtual reality, they would be able to discuss the dimensions of buildings, design and dimensions of building, right? At the bottom, a boy is interacting with an engine. So likewise, actually there's no engine, but the student, with the help of its VR glasses, he is able to feel and experience his interaction with the engine or any machine. So likewise, in the coming world, with the help of artificial intelligence, with the help of AR, VR technology, mixed reality technology, we would be able to give a similar kind of experience which a student gets from a real experience. Another question is, will AI replace teachers? So we need to look at that teachers has to be more advanced in terms of guiding our students. So we have seen various platforms, various tools, various technologies, and a slight view on there are a number of smart classroom equipments. We already know we have laptops, cell phones. Now in the coming times, the watches, which will be our smartphone, right? These are foldable cell phone which are coming. Already we know that these ebooks which are available already is for a long time, they are available. These are ebooks which are in the market. They are now the MP3 players now, which were obsolete. Now they are again in use to use as ebooks now. Interactive boards, already we know it. Interactive board with projector and attachments, right? Portable interactive boards, right? So there are a number of interactive tools, much more now, which are coming in the market. So I end up this session here, right? And there is a slight more input, but I open the session for questions, and then I'll start my discussion on technology part. Yes, thank you everyone, and you may ask questions if you want to have. Then there is small input which I would like to share again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mishra. Thank you so much, Dr. Mishra, and I really want to say your diligence, your self-motivation and dedication towards enriching our minds to understand the ICT technology is really going to help us in understanding various national and international ICT platforms. And here I can see various questions and various hand has been raised who wants to interact live with you. So I like to first call Mr. Cleric Jaden. He wants to ask something to you. Mr. Cleric, you may please unmute yourself and you can ask your question. Mr. Jaden?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. My question is that, according to sir, ICT or e-learning is to be of a mass accessibility, mean accessible to all the people. However, in reality, only people living in urban areas are getting access to such technology. Yes, rural people can also technology. However, they do not have money to do so. The money or the income that they use to get is not even enough for them to
Mr. Jaden, there is some
buy food
from
for
your
their
side.
family.
Mr. Jaden?
Okay.
Yes, there is some network issue from your side. You are not clearly audible to us. We'll try to connect you later on. There is one.
KD, I think let me tell you, I think Cleric wanted to say that he has a point saying that ICT tools is not available to people in rural areas. It's available only in the urban areas. And there is he also says a point that the accessibility is not for everyone. So
yes.
what is the take on that? That's it.
Okay. So I would like to answer your question. See, the platforms which I shared to you, all these platforms, an initiative of Ministry of HRD, now Ministry of Education, Government of India, all these platforms are free of cost, available, open for all, for every student in India, right? Now, the only hurdle right now is, if you are talking of rural India, now technology is reaching there, especially in terms of hardware. For example, there's data that earlier, before COVID, right, users of, for example, one network of Geo, right now Geo network is having approx 30 crore users in India. Getting my point? Now it has increased from 15 to now 30. Similarly, now hardware and network, well, there are only two hurdles. One is network and another is available of that equipment in the form of mobile or laptop in rural areas. Otherwise, all these technology, all these platforms which I talked about, whether it is a Mooc platform, whether it is all these platforms of Ministry of HRD, these are open for all, right? Now, while we are talking of Moocs, Moocs have cleared all the hurdles. Now, whether you live in rural areas or urban areas, you have equal access to these Moocs. So there's no education bar, there's no money bar, there's no money required. These are completely free of cost. There is no education required. There is no qualification bar that you have to do this course. For this course, you have to be, you need this much qualification. No, this bar is removed. There is no time bar, whether you do it in 1 month or you do it in 1 year. There is no time bar. If you want to study in night or morning, it's your own wish, right? So all these hurdles are removed now. These platforms are open for all. The only hurdle which I shared is reaching of technology to some of very remote areas. Now those challenges are being taken up at the government level, and they are being addressed. And very soon, because now this COVID is a sudden break. This e-education, e-learning, education 4.0 was taking a U-turn across the globe. Now, because of the COVID, it is a V-turn now. There's a sudden turn, right? So things are moving very, very fast, and we are hopeful once we are able to control, because our focus is COVID situation, to control COVID situation. Once the COVID situation is under control, I think this e-education process, right, whatever hurdles are existing, they will be removed very soon.
Well said, sir. And there is one question from a participant. Her name is Sonam. She is asking, it is difficult to teach practical subjects like accountancy online platforms or online. Is there any application which can help teaching practical subjects on digital platforms?
See, what I shared, now there are n number of, I just listed some of the tools, right? The purpose was to share you that you can have access to not only for this platform for sharing these traditional methods, sharing lecture, what I'm sharing right now, right? It is just a traditional lecture method,
right?
Sharing my thoughts. But more for with the student, you have to go for practicals. So I shared n number of platforms, whether you are from technical background or non-technical background. If you're a teacher, all these platforms which I shared to you, they cater to every area, every subject, every course, every program in India. So you connect to these platforms, and these platforms are going to help you for doing practical examinations or doing practicals in your subject areas.
Right, sir. There is one
I just got a question from Madam Tripti Gupta for quiz, for conducting quiz. So already I shared some of the quiz platforms. You look at, for example, quizzes, right? The site called quizzes, right? So I would like to repeat that these sites are going to help you, right, in conducting quizzes with your students. While you conduct quizzes, just a sec, let me open that so that it is going to address your questions. So I'm opening this again for you. Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can look at this site called quizzes, right? With the help of this site, this tool, you can create one quiz which is more interesting for your students. For example, called Kahoot, platform called Kahoot, you can create one quiz which is more interesting for your students. With the help of some of these platforms, you are able to help your students in the form of sharing knowledge in the form of quizzes. Quiz is one of the interesting platforms. Yes. Okay.
And sir, there is one participant, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson wants to interact with you. So, Mr. Jackson, you may please put your question and can talk with the Dr. Mishra. Mr. Jackson? Mr. Abdul Rauf is there. He also wants to talk with you, sir.
Okay.
Professor Santosh Sharma. I'm naming the people who have raised their hands. They may please unmute themselves and talk to the Dr. Mishra.
Yes, you may ask question.
All right. So, sir, there is a question. I guess I can let me read the question. There is a question. Shivangi Badoria is asking, what types of information must be provided to schools to aid in the induction and maintenance of ICT related equipment and to promote ICT related instructions?
No, I couldn't get the point. Can you repeat, please? What kind of?
Hello.
Okay, please ask.
Hello.
Can you repeat the question again?
Hello. Am I audible, sir?
Audible, sir.
Hello.
Audible.
Dr. Mishra, are you there?
Yes, yes. Am I audible to you?
Okay, okay. All right, sir. So there is a question from one participant. Her name is Shivangi Badoria. She is asking, like, what types of information must be provided to schools to aid in the induction and maintenance of ICT related equipment and to promote ICT related instruction?
IT related maintenance.
Maintenance, right?
Just to correct, sir, I think I'll tell you what the question is. I think she's saying, if I'm right, that they want to know if a school wants to install an ICT related equipment or ICT related service, what kind of things required, if I can understand that question.
It's very simple. I mean, for anyone, I mean, you need to have a broadband connection, right? And you need to have one maybe a laptop or a tab or even a smartphone with the network. It is more than enough. This is the hardware which is required. This is network, and then you can connect to anything which I shared.
Right, sir. So it was an innocent question. I guess she is a student. So, sir, there are a lot of questions, and we cannot take every, each of the questions here. But still, if any of the participant wants to ask anything directly to the Dr. Mishra, they may please raise their hand or they may switch on their camera. Dr. Mishra is still with us. He will he will answer all your queries. If anybody wants to ask anything to Mishra, sir. Tripti Gupta, you wants to, yes. Tripti, you are the co-host now. You will please unmute yourself and please ask your question. Tripti, are you there? Yes, please.
I want to ask what are the online games that we can play during teaching learning sessions? Any gaming site that we can play with students?
Okay. See, there are n number of games which are available for students and teachers. Now the point is how to design, because we have to make it customized. There is no game which has been designed for teaching your subject, right? You have to teach your subject, whether it is technical subject, whether it is non-technical subject. Okay. Now, is teacher's wisdom कि आपका समय क्या है, आपके पास स्टूडेंट कितने हैं, कौन से हैं, राइट? किस प्रकार की चीजों को हम खेल सकते हैं, और खासकर तब जब हम ऑनलाइन मोड में आ चुके हैं. सो दिस इज वन एग्जांपल. सी, आप कभी बैजूस की साइट, मैं एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं, यू कैन कनेक्ट टू दिस बैजूस साइट, व्हाट दे आर डूइंग. एजुकेशन में 3 चीजें बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट हैं, राइट? फर्स्ट थिंग इज प्रिपेयर्डनेस. अगर स्टूडेंट का माइंड अगर प्रिपेयर्ड नहीं है, अगर आप क्लासरूम में या ऑनलाइन मोड में, ऑफलाइन ऑनलाइन मोड में, अगर हम स्टूडेंट के माइंड को तैयार नहीं कर पाए लर्निंग के लिए, सो लर्निंग विल नॉट हैपन. नंबर 1. सो वी हैव व्हाट वी डू, first thing we call is, in the class we call it motivation or report making. We try to prepare the students, right, their mind to learn. So we make environment that environment, number one. So we need to learn how to do this. So उनके दिमाग में वो curiosity आनी चाहिए, उस subject की importance आनी चाहिए, why they need to learn this subject. Until unless it is done, they will not be ready to learn, number one. Second thing is practice, right? How to make them practice while you are learning, they need to be involved and do some practice, do something of their own, right? So third thing is, which we called is motivation or reward in the form of, this may be internal, this may be external. When we are mature, it is internal. For example, in today's seminar, all of you who have joined, there's no one who has said go and join it. You are doing it voluntarily. This is internal because you want to learn something of your own. This is not forced. This is volunteered. In other terms, there may be external reward, maybe some kind of reward in terms of recognition, in terms of achievement. So they need to get something, so they need to know that they are being recognized, they are achieving something, right, in the form of reward. So while we do gamification, हम इसको gamification इस प्रकार से करते हैं कि नंबर वन, देखिए बच्चों के गेम में एक ही गेम ऐसा नहीं होता, उसमें स्टेप्स होते हैं, because our mind, once it is able to achieve at one level, it wants to learn something new. So there's new level, right? At every level, there are two things. Once you win it, you will get these points. These are rewards, in the form of recognition. So meaning to say, we need to design games as per our subject or topic. यही teacher की creativity है. This is called creativity of any teacher to design games, right? If you are able to do this in some of the other way, in any of the ways, try acknowledge. There's no more time to share this lot because there's one workshop we conduct for designing games. There's a full 5-day workshops where we invite teachers, they come as per their topics, as per their units, they come and design games. We prepare them. So try out, or you connect to us. Sometime we'll have a session on designing games. We'll do it. Sure. But you will try it, and I think you will be able to do it.
So 1700 participants, sir, and a lot of questions are there. This is quite impossible to make every participant, allowed to talk with you. With the permission of yours, may I take one more question from the participant side?
All right, so let's keep it a last question. And then I would prefer to finally sum up with one video, because there was a question on AR and VR. What is AR and what is VR? So let me explain this. AR is augmented reality. VR is virtual reality. So virtual reality is which we cannot see from our naked eye. Anything, any experience where we need to put on our glasses. We put on our glasses, special glasses, and then we are able to experience the things, right? It is called virtual reality.
Virtual reality.
Augmented reality is wherein something which we are able to see from our naked eye. Thing is not real. Actually, thing is not real, but we are able to see and feel that thing is real. It is in front of our, we are able to see it from naked eye. This is called augmented reality or mixed reality. अभी मैं एक वीडियो आपके सामने शेयर करने जा रहा हूँ. पहले मैं इस क्वेश्चन को आंसर कर दूं, फिर मैं वो वीडियो शेयर करता हूँ, and then we'll pack up the things. Yes, sir.
Sure, sir. Yes, Professor. So Mr. Abhishek is raising his hand here. So okay. Abhishek, we are making you the co-host, and you may please ask your question. This is the last question that we are taking for this workshop. Yes, Abhishek, you may please ask your question.
Sir, when we are attending the webinars, is this certificates, webinar certificates authentic for mention of issues or not?
Sorry, Abhishek, you are not audible.
Sir, when we attended the webinars,
Yes,
online webinars, is it authentic to mention in the resumes?
you are not clearly audible, Mr. Abhishek. All right. So, Dr. Mishra, we can move on. I request you to please play the video that you want to
The
share with
small
us.
video, please have a look at it, right?
Please.
And okay, before I go ahead, is video visible to all?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
And is the voice also audible?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm playing it ahead. So you have seen this video. So in an stadium, there are a lot of people and there's a one dragon which is flying, right? So all things are real. People, stadium, everything is real. But the dragon which was flying wasn't real. It was a mixed reality. But people are able to, like you and we, people are able to look that dragon with their naked eye, and they are able to see it, feel it, and experience it. This is called augmented reality or mixed reality, right? Similarly, there are in our malls in Mumbai, similar kind of entertainment zones have been created where the student, there are children which are going, they are able to see the, okay, oh, there is a lion, there is a fish, but actually there is no one, but they are able to see it, they are able to feel it, they are able to experience it. So, I mean, these are basically, while we are talking of virtual reality or augmented reality or mixed reality. All right, so because of short span of time, we could cover a small bit, right? But there are a lot of things to cover up. We'll try to see if we are able to cover in some other session, some other day. So thanks everyone for giving this valuable time. Thank you, Professor Pathak.
Thank you. so much, sir. Thanks so much. And with this, I'd like to request everybody to please switch on their cameras so that we can capture this memory with Dr. Mishra. And in the same chain, I must say that I hope this workshop is going to create a massive curiosity in everybody's mind, like every single teacher who attended this workshop from the various corners of the India. This workshop is going to, make awareness among the teaching community to explore more about the ICT platforms that you have presented, you have shown to us today. So thanks a lot, sir. And in the same scene, I'd like to request Honorable Group Director, Dr. Satyanarayan, sir, who has joined us all the way from Bengaluru, to please extend a vote of thanks to the workshop, Dr. Satyanarayan, sir.
Vikram, pranam to you, sir. I'm very thankful to have you with us today for this wonderful session on e-learning, and we learned a lot of things on Swayam. We learned about AView. We learned about Namaste Bharat. We learned about AR and VR. We learned the importance of gaming in education. We also learned about the importance of e-portfolios and simulators. So it was a wonderful and very informative session. And as you said, the subject was very exhaustive. And we look forward to have you in the campus for the 5-day workshop, which that will be wonderful to have it. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks a lot, sir. And thanks, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mishra, and thank you so much, Group Director, sir, and thanks a lot to all the 1700 participants who has joined us in this one-day international workshop on ICT. Thank you so much to all. Vikrant Pranam to all of you.